it actually creates an optical illusion that you're a lot smaller than you really are. And so I've been trying to show a lot of like before and afters to show women like, hey, no matter what your body is, you can wear this type of look as well. And I promise it's going to make you feel 1,000% more sexy. You don't have to necessarily show any skin, but just
What's up, my soul sister? Welcome to the Happy, Purposeful, and Free podcast, where we are all about living our brightest, most authentic, kick-ass life that we actually love. My name's Katrina, and I'm your guide, obsessed with giving you the tools to help you get from where you are now to where you want to go in life, relationships, and business. This podcast is all about having fun, showing you there is more to the sober life and the real talk, as we share inspiring stories, tips, and tricks to help you boldly pursue your life. You are not alone in this deal, so let's do this thing together. Hello, welcome back to the Happy, Purposeful, and Free podcast. I am here with a newer friend who I'm so excited for all of you to meet. Stephanie is a wardrobe coach and virtual stylist that specializes in wardrobe education, teaching goal-oriented women the how behind great style. She believes that clothes are an extension of the greatness within us and powerful tools that can be leveraged to elevate your brand and boost your overall confidence. Yes, to that. I'm so excited you're here, Stephanie. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me, Katrina. I so appreciate it.
Absolutely. Your energy is just like, I don't know, what's the word? It's just like every time I see you on social media, I'm like, oh my God, yes, girl, go. Yes, yes. I need more of that in my life. So I love it. And I'm just excited to share that with my audience. So thank you for doing that and being a part of this.
Oh my gosh, you're so awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that feedback. I mean, isn't that really the goal that we're all going for on social media? So that really means a lot. So thank you.
Yes, definitely. You are one of those people that is definitely standing out in my opinion. So you're welcome. So I have just a few fun questions I would love to start with. One is, what did you want to be when you grew up, when you were a little girl?
Oh my gosh. That is a funny question. I feel like I always wanted to do something creative. And one thing that, I feel like I changed a lot throughout my childhood, but one thing that really comes to mind is being a florist, because I always have enjoyed the art of like putting flowers together in different ways and making it look beautiful. So that obviously didn't end up working out, but I feel like I'm in a similar kind of creative space, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, you totally are. That's so interesting. I don't know that I've ever heard anybody say that before.
I know. I feel like it's a little bit like, interesting. But yeah, no, that was totally something I wanted.
That's awesome. But I love flowers. So I feel you on that one. What is one of the scariest things that you've ever done?
Oh my gosh. Well, I get scared a lot. So there's probably a lot of things to choose from. But probably the most recent thing would be when I did a home birth with our second son. I did it in like one of those birthing tubs in the middle of our bedroom. And that was, it's a little freaky, but it was one of those opportunities to really step into my power. And I got her done.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Like it takes some real strength and walking through some stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely.
so awesome. What made you decide to do that with your second one?
Well, I had our first very young at 20, and I didn't go into that experience in the hospital very prepared. I didn't know what I was doing, or, I just didn't do my due diligence at that age to know what I was getting myself into from a birthing perspective. So that birth just didn't go super well. And I knew 10 years later, just being a different person, that I wanted to just really tap into my own power. I mean, that was really what it was. And it turned out to be a really incredible experience. So
yeah, totally. Oh, I can relate to that. That makes me think about the twins. I was not very educated. I was younger, 10 years younger than when I had Caleb. And when I had Caleb while it was at the hospital, I went natural. I was like, I'm not going to do that. And I didn't do that with the twins.
Yeah. I know it's fun to be able to learn from those experiences, right? And be able to switch it up the next time. So,
Yes, definitely. What is one of the most fun things that you've ever done?
one of the most fun things that I have ever done. Oh my goodness. Wow. See, I feel like this is like mom life really creeping in. It's hard sometimes to like loosen up and enjoy life sometimes. I feel like I do fun things all the time, but now I'm like blanking out. What's like a really, really fun thing that I ever did? Oh my gosh. Probably okay. I'm just this is like the one random thing that's coming to my mind. One time I was at a place called Coco Bungo in Cancun, and they totally like called me up onto the stage to like be one of like the dancers, and it was like just like a super super fun. I don't know. It was a really cool experience. It was like a random vacation thing that happened, and that's something that's like always stuck in my mind. I'm like, that was a really cool experience. So.
I love it. I love it so much. So tell us a little bit more about you. You weren't always a wardrobe coach. Where were you before you did what you do now?
Oh my gosh, no. Yeah, I actually at 25 started so it was like 10 years prior, started a brick and mortar frozen yogurt business with my sister and her husband, and of course my husband as well. So we went into this partnership, and it was actually right in the middle of the Great Recession during that time frame, and that was like something that nobody believed in us, and we were, it was like a random. We like couldn't get any banks to give us any money, and we like dug up all this money to make this business like a thing. And so we started this frozen yogurt business. When would that have been? 2000. Oh my gosh, I'm like blanking on what year that would have even been. It was like 11 years ago now or something. So 2010. Yeah. Okay. 2010. And that's how I got started in entrepreneurship. And it was massively successful. And we expanded to multiple stores. And now, yeah, I'm doing styling, which is just like completely like a left turn, I feel like. But yeah, that's where I'm at now.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I feel like that's about when I remember like some of my friends had froyo businesses, and that's when like people started to really get to know what froyo was. What led you up to where you're at now as a wardrobe coach?
I've always been very interested in style. I feel like I've always kind of been that person over time that people have kind of looked to for style advice. It's always kind of come really naturally for me. And I think it goes back to what I was saying about wanting to be a florist when I was a kid, just always having that creativity aspect in my life. But I feel like even deeper than that, like especially as time has gone on and I've been doing this longer and longer, and really wanting to tap into that like deep why, like what is that greater reason that we do what we do for anything, right? And I think it all comes back to, when I was a kid, I was around a lot of like through my motherly figures, there was a lot of like low self-esteem and lack of confidence. And, my mom was a functioning alcoholic during my childhood, and there was a lot of abuse that I was exposed to, whether it be like physical, mental, sexual abuse. There was a lot of that in the households that I was in. We had a split family, and I just always saw that like the man was in power and the woman was nothing, and that all relates back to confidence in general, right? And and I think just tying that desire to help women to feel more confident with my natural knack for being creative, I think that's really what's led me to be where I'm at right now, because I truly do believe that one of the greatest gifts we can give each other as women is to lift each other up and help us to become our greatest selves, in whatever way that is for each of our own individual gifts of how we can help make that happen. So.
Yeah, 1,000%. And I so see that through what you do. And I love that you do that, because I don't know a ton of women out there who are doing that, who they're empowering and supporting one another, and you're helping them feel confident at the same time in it. And I think it's so valuable.
It's interesting because I feel like there are so many women out there that do teach style. I mean, just to be real, it's out there everywhere. And there's obviously that part of me coming into this where I was like, imposter syndrome, like, why would anyone want to listen to me? There's so many people out there teaching this. But I really do feel like that's what my mission is to do this different, in the sense of like really tapping into it, not just being, hey, be stylish to be stylish and to look cool on Instagram, but it's more so like an internal impact that it can have on all of us in the way that we show up in life in general. So
yeah, it totally does. I know for me, when I actually get dressed and like do makeup and hair and all the things, I show up differently as a person.
yeah. Yeah.
And you feel so much better about yourself, especially this last year, like getting dressed up, even though most of us had nowhere to go.
Yeah. No,
that plays such an impact on that.
Yeah, it's so true, and I'm so glad that you brought that up. I mean, that's actually like a scientific phenomenon, that we literally take on the characteristics of the clothes that we're wearing. So, and I think a lot of us can relate to the fact that, when we there's a time and a place, and we all have our days where maybe we're just stay in our pajamas or whatever. But on those days, I think we can all agree that we just feel a little less energized. We're just kind of like moping around a little bit. Whereas even if you have nowhere to go, putting on something that just does make you stand a little taller, you're going to be way more productive during your day, even if that means getting the laundry done, but you're probably going to get 3 loads of laundry done instead of 1, right? And it feels good too to like, it impacts your attitude towards your kids. If you have kids, you're going to be a little more easygoing when you feel good about yourself. Right. And it always feels good if you do have a partner that, your partner notices you or gives you that little slap on the butt or gives you a little compliment. Those things really do go a long way, even during these COVID times. Right.
Yeah, they totally do. And I love that you brought that up, because I'm thinking about how, women, we work so hard to feel better. We work, hire coaches, we go through programs, and we do the internal work. And that's all great and fine. But if you're not also like, this is part of that doing, in my opinion. This is part of the doing. I released a really good episode today about journaling and how it's a great tool, but you can't journal your way into who you want to be. Like, this is part of the doing, dressing up and getting, wearing stuff that actually feels good for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so true. And I feel like a lot of times as women, we get our mindset a little bit twisted of how, like, well, like, what business do I have putting time into myself? Or I don't have time to put time into myself because I'm taking care of everyone else. Everyone else needs to come first. But in reality, it all goes back to the age old saying we've heard a million times, like, you cannot pour from an empty cup, right? So the way I see it is that little bit of time investing into ourselves and our appearance and the way that makes us feel, it pays itself back tenfold in our relationships and the way we show up in life. And it's like you're investing from a time perspective really into yourself and your entire life at that point. I feel like it's a very, very important thing to be adding into our daily routine. So
yeah, 1,000%. And now what I gather from what you do and what I've seen, like, you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of new clothes. Like, you work with what people have and where they're at. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely. Yep. That is absolutely an important aspect of what I do, because one of the biggest things that I hear women say is that it's expensive to dress stylish or all those things, right? And the reality is oftentimes we have a lot of great things in our closet, but we just need someone to help us think outside the box a little bit about how to maybe utilize them in a different way of what you thought, or like style them a little differently. Because so often, like, we can have a top, but what we don't realize is like that top can be styled different ways by maybe like tucking it or tying it or layering a certain type of jacket over the top or pairing it with a certain rise of bottom that completely changes the look of the entire top. So yeah, I love doing that with women. And So much of what I do as well is body shape education too, because I feel like that's a really important thing that women, it's important to realize is like there's nothing wrong with our bodies, and our bodies naturally change over time. And it is possible to feel stylish and feel confident regardless of what your size is. And that's something that I love to tap into as well.
I think that's so awesome that you tap into that. That's such a key piece that that's the piece that most women they're afraid to talk about. They're afraid to bring it up, that I don't like that I have, curves as much as I do, or overly large breasts, or whatever that is for them, and I think that is probably a beautiful piece that you have that can break through that little bit of wall and shield that they have.
Yeah, absolutely. And, because as women, like I said in the beginning, I truly do believe that all of us have the right to feel beautiful. And I think it's first and foremost, we have to get through that mental block of thinking that for some reason, maybe we're not worthy of feeling beautiful because our body is, one way or the other, or whatever that means, or we don't look like the girl next to us or whatever. But the reality is that there are so many different clothes out there, and like styles of clothes and different cuts and things like that. And there really are pretty incredible ways that you can utilize pieces that truly are meant for your type of body, that are going to make you feel your best and really helped you to have the most flattering silhouette that you can. But it's just a matter of getting that education around what those pieces are and how to actually pair them together so that you can feel your best. So yeah, it's pretty exciting to be able to help women with that.
That's so cool. What is one of your favorite go-to outfits?
Oh, one of my favorite go-to outfits. I mean, probably I love bodysuits right now. I mean, and so any of you listening, don't tune me out. Don't tune me out, because I've been talking a lot about this type of situation Okay, so I'll tell you my outfit and then I'll explain why. So bodysuits, and then I love like a high-waisted bottom, like denim shorts, or a pair of regular jeans with like a great bodysuit, and then like a denim jacket over the top, or maybe like a moto jacket or something like that. And maybe you've seen me, Katrina, talk about this on my Instagram, but one thing is that what we do often as women is we like to hide behind certain kind of looser, baggier clothes, because once again, we feel like our bodies, we're not able to wear anything that like necessarily shows anything, or, we just want to try to cover it all up. Right. And what that ends up usually doing is instead of covering us, it makes us appear bigger and wider than we truly are when we're wearing these kind of like bigger tops and things like that. So what I've been teaching a lot is, regardless of your body shape, if you put on a more form-fitting top, like a bodysuit with a bottom that shows the top of the waistline of your pants and hits you right at the smallest part of your waist, it actually creates an optical illusion that you're a lot smaller than you really are. And so I've been trying to show a lot of like before and afters to show women like, hey, no matter what your body is, you can wear this type of look as well. And I promise it's going to make you feel 1,000% more sexy. You don't have to necessarily show any skin, but just utilizing lines to your advantage really makes a big difference. So
the bodysuit. I remember I had this flashback. There's a picture of my cousin and I. We did pictures together because we were BFFs. We both had bodysuits, and I was flashed back to 6th grade, that picture, and rocking the bodysuit.
Yes, girl. I know they've made a comeback, right? I remember wearing them when I was a kid too. It's so funny.
I love that so much. So how can women work with you? What is it you do?
Yeah, totally. So I do actually these, like right now it's spring, right? So I'm doing spring style freshen up. So that's basically where it's like dipping your toes into being able to work with a stylist. And what that involves is we get to meet for a Zoom call. I do everything virtually, which is really cool. We get to meet on a Zoom call and I get to hear all about, what do you struggle with usually? Like, what are some of your body vulnerabilities? What about your body do you like? And I have all these sets of questions that I actually ask you to get to know you more, and like what kinds of things you're looking to tap into to boost your wardrobe. And from there, I actually create 3 brand new outfits for you. They're in digital format, so it's called an outfit blueprint. So you can see a visual of what the outfits look like. And each piece actually has a clickable shopping link attached to it. And that's all according to your budget. So I actually shop for clients a lot on like Amazon or Target, or, depending on if you want to invest, or maybe Nordstrom, whatever it is. So I'm very in tune with all of that. So I create these 3 outfits for you, get you your shopping links, do everything for you. And then we meet one more time, excuse me. And we actually, I go over the outfits with you, explain why I picked what I did for you. I do some great like body shape education, so that you can know like, okay, these are types of pieces to look for moving forward. And here's why this is going to look really great on you. And then I support you for 30 days after that. So if you have any style questions or anything like that, I'm just like a text away. So that's my spring style freshen up that I'm doing right now, which seems to be quite the hit.
That's awesome. How cool to have like a stylist in your back pocket. I mean, I know for people like me who I'm not a shopper to begin with, I don't like shopping for myself. And, I have my go-to things. And I love dressing up most of the time, but I'm like, if somebody else would do my shopping, like, heck yeah, that's so awesome. I love that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, totally. Well, and it's such a perfect thing for if you are someone that's just kind of like feeling bored and uninspired by your wardrobe, maybe you're just reaching for the same like boring stuff and you just want someone to, like I said, help you kind of think outside the box a little bit. And also during that second call, we'll usually have a little bit of leftover time where I can help with some of the things that you already have to kind of help you restyle some of those things as well. So yeah, it's just kind of a fun way to kind of get going in the right direction, to just kind of get a little confidence boost heading into the new season. So
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking spring is such a great time. Everybody does their spring cleaning, right? So you can do a spring clean of your closet or just a freshen up, like you said, of your closet. I'm thinking about I was really into LuLaRoe for a while.
yeah.
Okay, it's time to weed most of that out.
Rotate. Yeah, totally.
I got some cute stuff, but I was like, okay, no. I don't know what I was thinking.
Totally.
Love it. Awesome. All right, Stephanie, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, the best place would be on Instagram. Come find me, you guys. So it's @Stephanie Gilstrap. Of course, like my inbox is always open. So I'd love to hear from you. If you have any styling questions or anything, I'd love to help you out. So yeah, come find me over there on the gram.
Definitely. Anything that is on your heart that you want to share before we go?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I honestly, like, my biggest message, like I said, is just to help women to really utilize whatever tools and resources are available to them to help them to understand how powerful they truly are and how confident they deserve to feel every single day. And I think that clothes are like the end all be all. I don't. I believe that it's important to just have a toolbox of tools, right? That we can always tap into. And style is just one of those tools that, we're getting dressed every single day. So why not, work to feel our best in that area of our lives. And of course, I'd love to help anyone do that that's interested. So.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I knew I had to have you on this show, because I know there's moms and women out there who are listening, and this is such a beautiful piece that I am not an expert in, and I do my best, but I just knew you were the perfect light to bring on and share that message and help these ladies, because it really is. We show up so much differently when we take care of ourselves from the outside in, inside out, whatever way you want to talk about it. So thank you so much for coming on and spreading your light and bringing your joy and your energy. It's just contagious, and I just love what you're doing. So keep doing it.
Thank you, Katrina. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for listening. And if you loved this episode and know of someone else who has a powerful story and are doing big things, please pass them on to me. It would mean the world to me if you helped me get this message out to as many listeners as I can. So please, if you liked what you heard, it goes a long way to take 60 seconds, leave me a 5-star review, and share this episode with a girlfriend. Don't forget to tag me on social media, and if that's not your thing, shoot me a DM, because I would like to personally thank you for doing so. We are not meant to do this life alone, and I'm so grateful to be on this journey with you. Until next time.